Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Family Doctor Board certified. I see patients just like you in my clinic every single day. And today I want to have a real, honest, from the heart conversation. This one is especially for you if you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or if you love someone who is maybe you're a son or daughter caring for an aging parent. Maybe you're looking at your own retirement and thinking, I want to enjoy these years, not spend them in waiting rooms. So let's talk about something that matters more than most people realize. Have you ever noticed this? You look at two people, both, let's say, 75 years old or even 85 or 90, and you think to yourself, how can they be so different? I mean, at one person, they look fantastic, rosy cheeks, steady on their feet, strong voice. They go for walks every morning. They haggle over tomatoes at the farmer's market. They chase their grandkids around the living room. They travel to visit family for Thanksgiving. And honestly, they barely even catch a cold. The other person, same age on paper, but they just retired, and before they can even enjoy it, they're spending half their time and most of their social security check at doctors' offices and pharmacies. One day it's their back, the next day it's their knees, then their blood pressure spikes, their nightstand looks like a small pharmacy. Bottles everywhere, pill organizers, sticky notes with reminders. They live carefully, sometimes fearfully. They worry about becoming a burden to their children. I have seen this contrast so many times in my exam room, it never gets easier to watch. And here's what often happens next. A sweet patient sits across from me, tired, defeated, holding a thick stack of lab reports, and they ask me, Doc, is my body just falling apart? Is it bad genes? Did I just get unlucky? Do I need to go buy those expensive supplements, ginseng, sea cucumber, bird's nest, the stuff they advertise on television? Should I spend thousands of dollars on that? And you know what I do? I gently take their hand, I look them in the eye, and I say, let's not waste your hard-earned money just yet, because here's the truth that I have learned over years of practicing medicine. There's an old saying, and I love it, better food than medicine, the real secrets to living longer, and more importantly, living better. With fewer illnesses, fewer doctor visits, fewer prescriptions, are not hiding inside $1,000 jars of supplements. They're not in fancy bottles with gold labels. They're right there in your local Walmart, your neighborhood Kroger, the little independent grocery store down the street. Costco, your corner bodega, often for just a few dollars, sometimes even a few cents per S. Irving. Why is that? Because both traditional wisdom and modern medical science, from the CDC to the American Heart Association to the Mayo Clinic, agree on something incredibly powerful. And I want you to really hear this. Your best doctor is you. Your best hospital is your kitchen. Your best medicine is real everyday food. And the best results come from consistency, not intensity, day after day, meal after meal, week after week. So today I'm going to share a very special list, 10 longevity foods. These have stood the test of time across cultures, across centuries. These are what so many centenarians, nutrition researchers, and honestly, US doctors quietly keep on our own families' dinner tables, not because we're trying to be trendy, because they work. People who eat these foods regularly tend to have strong immune systems. They get sick less often. They recover faster when they do get sick. And if you can take even just a few of these and make them a regular part of your life, not all 10, not perfectly, just some of them most of the time, I promise you, your quality of life in your later years will take a huge step forward. Now, if you care about your health and your family's health, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell. I share practical science back. No hype health information here, things you don't always hear in mainstream media, real talk, real evidence, real compassion. And if you like what we're doing, drop a 1 in the comments. That honestly helps us keep making these videos for you. It tells the algorithm that real people actually want this kind of content. All right, let's get into it. The very first one, and this is a true non-negotiable breakfast for so many long-lived elders, is oatmeal. But wait, I know some of you are about to scroll away. I know some of you are thinking, oatmeal, that's boring. That's what my grandpa ate. Please don't leave. Because I'm not talking about instant white rice porridge that spikes your blood sugar faster than a can of soda. I'm talking about smart oatmeal, the right kind. Prepared the right way, here's something I've noticed from looking at the eating habits of people who live to 90, 100, and beyond. So many of them start their day with a warm bowl of oats. It's not fancy, it's not Instagram worthy, but it works. There's a famous example I like to share, an economist and his wife. Both of them lived well past 100 sharp as a tack until the very end. Their daily ritual every single morning without fail, rain or shine, a bowl of oatmeal. They didn't skip it when they traveled. They didn't skip it on holidays. It was just what they did. And here's how simple it is. Take about 2 tablespoons of rolled oats. That's around 50 grams. And add 1 cup of hot water. That's 250 milliliters for those of you who measure that way. Let it sit for 2 minutes. That's it. You can use a kettle. You can microwave it. You can use an electric water heater, whatever works for your morning routine. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Doc, I have high blood sugar. My doctor told me to stay away from porridge. And you're right, if we're talking about white rice porridge, white rice cooks down into a simple sugar that hits your bloodstream almost immediately. It's like drinking a sugar-sweetened beverage, but oatmeal is completely different. Oatmeal contains something really special called beta-glucan. It's this gooey, sticky, almost glue-like fiber. And that stuff acts like a gentle brush for your blood vessels. Let me explain how it works. When you eat oatmeal, the beta-glucan travels through your stomach into your small intestine. There it forms a gel-like substance. That gel traps bile acids, which are made from cholesterol, and carries them out of your body through your stool. So your liver has to pull more cholesterol from your blood to make new bile acids. The result, your LDL, that's the bad cholesterol, goes down naturally, no pills required. Here's a way to picture it, how you use a soft sponge. Not steel wool to clean a greasy pan. That's what beta-glucan does inside your arteries. It doesn't scratch, it doesn't damage, it just gently carries the gunk away. And that's not all. Oatmeal keeps you full for hours. No crazy energy crashes at 10 in the morning. No mid-morning hunger pangs that send you to the vending machine for a donut. Your blood sugar stays steady, not like those spikes you get from a sugary muffin, a white flour bagel, or a breakfast cereal that's basically candy. Now think about this. After a full night's sleep, 7 or 8 hours, your digestive system is just waking up. It's like a sleepy child. If you throw a heavy, greasy breakfast at it, fried dough, oily pastries, greasy bacon, a fast food breakfast sandwich, that's like asking that child to run a marathon before coffee. It's just too much. Your stomach has to work overtime. You feel bloated, you feel sluggish, you might even feel a little nauseous, but a warm, creamy bowl of oatmeal, that's a gentle healing hug for your stomach. It's like giving your digestive system a warm, soft blanket instead of a heavy weight. It's easy to digest. It's soothing. It prepares you for the day without exhausting your system before you've even left the house. So here's my challenge to you. Try swapping your usual breakfast for oatmeal for just 1 month, just 30 days. Pay attention to your energy, pay attention to your digestion, pay attention to your bathroom visits. Because the fiber will help with that too. I'd love to hear what changes for you. Drop a comment and let me know if you've tried this. Have you noticed a difference in your cholesterol numbers in your morning energy? I really want to know. Number 2 is millet. Now, I'll be honest with you, millet might not be on every American grocery list. It's not as common as rice or pasta, but in many traditional diets around the world, it's held in very high regard. In fact, some cultures call it postpartum rice, because when a new mother needed to recover after childbirth, or when someone was weak from a long illness, they would reach for millet before anything else, before chicken soup, before vitamins, before anything. Why? Because millet is incredibly gentle on the stomach, while also being deeply nourishing to your whole system, your digestion, your energy, your body's fluids, your nervous system. It's a complete package. There's an old quote from a famous physician that I have never forgotten. He wrote, "The oily film on top of millet porridge is better than ginseng soup." Now that oily film, that's the real gold, and here's how you get it. When you cook millet, don't rush it, don't boil it on high heat and walk away. Use low heat, let it simmer slowly, 30 to 40 minutes. Stir it occasionally. At the end, a thick, creamy, almost pudding-like layer will form on top. That's not fat, that's concentrated plant nutrition, that's the heart of the millet. That's what the old physicians were talking about for someone with chronic stomach issues, acid reflux, that burning feeling in your chest after eating, a worn-down gut lining, that constant gnawing sensation. That creamy layer is like natural, side effect-free medicine for your digestive tract. It coats and soothes, it reduces inflammation, it helps your stomach heal itself. And here's where modern science completely agrees with traditional wisdom. Millet is actually number 1 among all grains, all of them, for something called tryptophan. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid. Your body cannot make it. You have to get it from food. And your body uses tryptophan to make 2 very important things: serotonin, which regulates mood and appetite, and melatonin, which regulates sleep, not just any melatonin, your body's own natural, perfectly dosed, perfectly timed melatonin. So if you're lying awake at night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., mind racing, Body tired, but brain wants shut off before you reach for a prescription sleep aid, which can have side effects like daytime drowsiness, dependence, and even falls in older adults. Try this: a warm bowl of millet porridge in the evening, about an hour before bed, and make sure you eat that creamy top layer. Many of my patients have told me that this simple change helped them fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more rested. Not all of them, but enough that I now recommend it regularly. And honestly, that's a beautiful thing. Sleep is foundational to every aspect of health: your immune system, your memory, your mood, your blood pressure, your weight. Also, millet is alkaline. Most modern diets are too acidic: too much meat, too much processed food, too much coffee, too much soda. That acidic environment can contribute to inflammation, bone loss, and digestive discomfort. Millet helps balance that, so if you struggle with heartburn, GERD, or that burning feeling in your chest after eating, especially after tomatoes, coffee, citrus, or spicy foods, millet can help neutralize stomach acid naturally without drugs like proton pump inhibitors, which have their own long-term risks. Keep a bag of millet in your pantry. It's cheap. It lasts for months in an airtight container. It cooks quickly compared to brown rice, and it just might become your new evening ritual. Number 3 is corn, what some folks call the golden grain. And for good reason. Let's look at some real world data, because I love it when science confirms what people have known for generations. The American Medical Association, that's a very reputable, very careful organization, once conducted a large-scale health survey. They looked at Native American groups who still ate their traditional diet, not the modern processed food diet that has become so common. And what they found was remarkable. Almost none of them had high blood pressure. Almost none had hardened arteries, what we doctors call atherosclerosis. Almost none had heart attacks or strokes at the rate seen in the general population. Researchers were honestly stunned. These folks weren't taking a handful of prescription medications. They weren't spending their limited money on fancy supplements from catalogs. They didn't have gym memberships. So what was their secret? They ate corn every single day. Corn is packed with lecithin, linoleic acid, vitamin E, and other plant compounds that protect your blood vessels. Here's how I explain it to my patients in the exam room. Think of corn as giving your arteries a non-stick coating. You know how a good non-stick pan lets eggs slide right off without leaving a mess? Corn helps keep cholesterol from sticking to your vessel walls and forming dangerous plaques. That means better blood flow, lower blood pressure, and fewer heart attacks and strokes down the road. It's not magic, it's just smart nutrition. But here's something most people don't know, and this is where you can get way more value out of your corn. This is the kind of tip that costs you nothing but can make a real difference. Do not throw away the corn silk, that fuzzy thread-like stuff under the green husk. The stuff that gets stuck in your teeth, most people peel it off and toss it straight into the trash or the compost bin without a second thought. But in traditional practices, corn silk has a beautiful name. They call it dragon's whisker, and it's wonderful for gentle fluid balance in your body. In fact, corn silk has been studied for its ability to support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood sugar levels naturally, gently, without harsh side effects. It acts as a mild diuretic. That means it helps your body get rid of excess fluid without losing too much potassium, which is a common problem with prescription water pills. So next time you boil corn, here's what I want you to do. Peel off the dirty outer leaves, the ones that have soil or insect damage, but leave the inner light green husk, leave all that silky thread, all of it. Boil the whole thing, corn, inner husk, and silk, in a pot of water after the corn is cooked, and you eat the kernels. Delicious, by the way. Perfect with a little butter and salt. Do not pour out that water. That water is now a naturally sweet, mild, earthy tea. Drink it warm. You can drink it plain or add a tiny drop of honey if you like. It costs almost nothing. You are going to boil the corn anyway. And it's a perfect example of real, practical, everyday wellness that your grandmother probably knew, but we have forgotten in our busy modern lives. Try it this week. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever drunk corn water before? Did your family do this growing up? I'm curious. All right, number 4. This one can be a little controversial, I know. I hear about it in my clinic every single week. Some people swear by milk. Others say, "Doc, milk doesn't agree with me at all. It makes me bloated. It makes me gassy. I feel terrible after drinking it." I hear you, and I believe you. But the data doesn't lie. Milk is still one of the most efficient, affordable, and bioavailable sources of calcium we have in this country, period, full stop. Let me give you some perspective. Among American centenarians, people who live to 100 and beyond, about 80% are women. That's an important statistic, and we know that after menopause, when estrogen levels drop, women lose bone density much faster than men. It's not fair, but it's biology. A woman in her 70s can lose bone density 2 to 3 times faster than a man of the same age. But here's the amazing thing, many of those 100-year-old women have surprisingly strong bones. One famous example, a woman named Benning who lived past 100. She wasn't famous for anything else, she was just a regular person who lived a long, healthy life. She drank 2 cups of milk every day. Sometimes she just drank it like water with meals, between meals, whenever she was thirsty. When doctors checked her bone density at 100 years old, no joke, there was no significant osteoporosis. Her spine wasn't curved, she wasn't fragile, she walked with energy. She didn't use a walker or a cane. So what's the takeaway? Milk gives us calcium in a form our bodies can actually use and absorb. The calcium in milk has a high bioavailability. That means the percentage that actually makes it from your mouth to your bones is excellent, better than most plant-based sources. Unless you're very careful about preparation, plus milk has high quality protein, whey, and casein, and protein helps you maintain muscle. And muscle means stability, which means fewer falls, and fewer falls mean fewer hip fractures. And avoiding a hip fracture as an older adult is one of the most important things you can do for your independence and your quality of life. A hip fracture often leads to a downward spiral, loss of mobility, loss of independence, higher risk of blood clots, higher risk of pneumonia, higher risk of depression. So milk matters. Now, I hear you. Many of us, especially as we get older, become lactose intolerant. Our bodies produce less of the enzyme lactase, which breaks down milk sugar. The result, bloating, gas, rumbling stomach, cramping, rushing to the bathroom. It's real, it's uncomfortable, it's embarrassing. So what can we do? I don't want you to suffer, but I also don't want you to miss out on the benefits of dairy. Here are 3 practical, real-world options that I have shared with hundreds of patients over the years. First, try real yogurt, not the sugary dessert-style yogurt that belongs in the ice cream aisle, the stuff with fruit syrup at the bottom, or candy pieces mixed in. I'm talking about plain yogurt with live active cultures, Greek yogurt. Regular yogurt doesn't matter. Most of the lactose is already broken down by the bacteria during fermentation. Plus, you get probiotics for your gut health. Win-win. Second, buy lactose-free milk. Every major grocery store carries it now. Walmart, Target, Kroger, Safeway, Publix, HEB, you name it. Sometimes it's labeled lactose free, sometimes it's labeled sensitive, sometimes it's labeled Fairlife or another brand. It costs a little more, maybe an extra dollar per G Allen, but it's worth it if it means you can tolerate milk without misery. Third, if you want to try regular milk, don't drink it cold on an empty stomach. Warm it up gently on the stove or in the microwave. Sip it slowly with a meal, a piece of whole grain toast, a bowl of oatmeal, a few crackers, half a banana. Start with just a few sips, like 2 or 3 ounces. Then a little more the next day, then a little more the next week. Many of my patients have slowly built tolerance this way over a few weeks. It's not guaranteed, but it's worth trying. Strong bones and strong muscles mean more independence as you age, more travel, more time with grandkids, more ability to live in your own home instead of moving to a facility. This is worth figuring out. Don't give up on milk just because the first try didn't work. Number 5, and this one is so misunderstood, eggs. I want to tell you about a centenarian named Dr. Chen Hansheng. He lived a very long life, well past 90, with a sharp, clear mind. He was still reading and writing and engaging with the world until the very end, and he followed a simple rule every single day: 1 egg in the morning, 1 glass of milk at night, and 1 apple sometime in between. As a snack, usually in the afternoon, the rest of his meals were mostly plant-based, vegetables, rice, beans, tofu, nothing fancy, nothing expensive. Now, here's where I see so many patients get tripped up, and honestly, it hurts my heart a little every time someone will sit in my exam room looking worried and say, "Doc, I have high cholesterol. My numbers are high. My last doctor told me to watch what I eat, so I only eat egg whites now. I throw the yolk away. I read online that egg yolks are dangerous. Is that right?" Oh, friend, let's have a real conversation about this, because that is a huge misunderstanding, and it has caused millions of people to throw away the most nutritious part of the egg for no good reason. Yes, egg yolks contain cholesterol. That's true. I'm not going to deny it. One large egg yolk has about 180 to 200 milligrams of cholesterol, but here's what most people don't know and what many doctors don't take the time to explain. Your body, specifically your liver, makes about 80 to 90% of the cholesterol in your blood. Only about 10 to 20% comes from the food you eat. Your body is smart. It has been regulating cholesterol for millions of years. When you eat more cholesterol from food, your liver simply makes less. It turns down its own production. It's a built-in feedback loop, but more importantly, and this is the part that changes everything. Egg yolks are packed with something called lecithin. Lecithin acts like dish soap for your bloodstream. I'm serious. Let me give you a picture. Think about washing a greasy pan. You run it under hot water. The water alone doesn't do much. The grease just sits there. You need soap. The soap breaks the fat into tiny little droplets that mix with the water and wash away. That's exactly what lecithin does inside your arteries. It helps break down fat particles, cholesterol, and triglycerides into tiny droplets that stay suspended in your blood. They don't clump together. They don't stick to your vessel walls. They flow through and get processed by your liver. Throwing away the yolk is like throwing away the antidote and keeping the poison. It breaks my heart every time I hear a patient say they've been doing that for years. They've been missing out on the good part while being afraid of the harmless part, and that's not all. Egg yolks have lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful antioxidants that protect your eyes against cataracts and age-related macular degeneration. Macular degeneration is one of the leading causes of blindness in older adults. You cannot reverse it once it's advanced, but you can reduce your risk, and egg yolks are one of the best dietary sources of these nutrients. Egg yolks also have choline, a nutrient that supports your brain, your memory, and your nervous system. Choline is especially important as we age. Low choline levels have been linked to cognitive decline and even Alzheimer's disease. Unless you have a specific egg allergy, which is rare in adults, or your doctor has told you to avoid yolks for a very specific medical reason that applies to you personally, one whole egg. Per Dalton Y is not only safe, it's beneficial. Multiple studies have shown that for the vast majority of people, dietary cholesterol from eggs does not raise blood cholesterol levels in a harmful way. Now, let's talk about how to cook them. That matters too. Boiled or steamed eggs are best. Your body absorbs almost all the nutrients that way, over 99% absorption. Poached eggs are great too. Soft boiled eggs with a runny yolk, delicious and healthy. Try to limit fried eggs, especially in lots of butter, bacon, grease, or vegetable oil. Frying adds unnecessary calories and oxidized fats, and scrambled eggs can be healthy if you don't drown them in cheese and butter. Use a non-stick pan with just a tiny spray of oil. Even a tea-boiled egg, the kind you find in Asian grocery stores with the marbled brown shell, is better than a greasy diner-style fried egg. So find a preparation you enjoy and make that egg a daily habit. One egg, 1 minute to boil. That's it. Number 6. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes used to be considered poor people's food. I remember my grandmother telling me that when she was growing up, sweet potatoes were what you ate when you couldn't afford anything else. Now, they're a superstar in the wellness world. Every health food store sells sweet potato chips, sweet potato toast, sweet potato everything, and for very good reason. Sweet potatoes do so many good things for your body. Let me count the ways. First, they help with constipation. That's real. I have patients who suffer from chronic constipation going 3, 4, 5 days without a bowel movement. They're uncomfortable, they're bloated, they're worried about hemorrhoids or even bowel obstructions. As we age, our gut motility slows down. Things don't move through as quickly. Sweet potatoes have a ton of fiber, both soluble and insoluble. That bulks up your stool and gently sweeps waste out of your colon. No harsh laxatives required. Second, a diet rich in fiber from real foods like sweet potatoes is linked to a lower risk of colon cancer. That's not marketing, that's epidemiology. The American Cancer Society has published study after study showing that people who eat more fiber have lower rates of colon cancer. Sweet potatoes are an easy, delicious way to get that fiber. Third, sweet potatoes contain a special mucoprotein. That's a type of protein that helps keep your blood vessels elastic and flexible. Stiff arteries lead to high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. Flexible arteries are the hallmark of cardiovascular health. That mucoprotein also helps protect your liver and kidneys from certain types of damage. Fourth, sweet potatoes are loaded with antioxidants, especially beta-carotene, which we'll talk about more with carrots, and those antioxidants fight aging at a cellular level. They help clean up what we call reactive oxygen species, basically cellular rust over time. That rust damages your DNA, your cell membranes, your mitochondria. Antioxidants help slow that process down. Fifth, sweet potatoes contain significant amounts of calcium and magnesium, two minerals that are essential for bone health. So they help prevent osteoporosis as well. So sweet potatoes are amazing. But, and this is important, I have to give you two very important warnings because even good food can cause trouble if you eat it the wrong way. Warning number one, always cook sweet potatoes fully. Do not eat them raw or undercooked. Raw sweet potatoes contain starch granules that your body cannot break down easily. They will cause gas, bloating, and abdominal discomfort. Some people get significant pain. That's the opposite of what we want. So bake them, boil them, steam them, roast them. Just make sure they're soft all the way through. Warning number two, sweet potatoes are naturally sweet. They have a significant amount of natural sugar, mostly sucrose and maltose. If you eat a large sweet potato on an empty stomach, especially a big baked sweet potato by itself, with nothing else, it can trigger heartburn and acid reflux for many people. The sugar plus the starch can be a tough combination for an aging digestive system. So here's the smart way to eat sweet potatoes. Don't eat them alone. Pair your sweet potato with a little bit of protein, some chicken, a few bites of fish, a small piece of beef or pork, even a spoonful of Greek yogurt, or have it alongside a small amount of pickled vegetables or just a pinch of salt that helps balance the pH and neutralize the acid effect also. And this is key, don't eat a giant sweet potato plus a full plate of white rice or bread or pasta. That's too many carbs at once for most people, especially if you have diabetes or prediabetes or even just a family history of blood sugar problems. Instead, use sweet potato to replace half of your white rice or bread. One medium sweet potato instead of half a cup of rice. That's the balanced blood sugar friendly way to do it. Number seven, tofu. There's an old saying that I absolutely love. I've heard it from older patients, from family members, from community elders. It goes like this: fish creates heat, meat creates phlegm, but cabbage and tofu keep you safe. Now, I'm not saying fish and meat are bad, they're not. Fish is excellent for omega-3 fatty acids. Lean meat is a great source of iron and B vitamins, but there's wisdom in that saying tofu is one of the best sources of high-quality plant protein that exists. And unlike red meat, tofu has zero cholesterol and very little saturated fat. A 3-ounce serving of firm tofu has about 7 grams of protein, about 4 grams of fat, mostly unsaturated, and zero cholesterol, zero. That's a big deal for older adults whose digestion isn't what it used to be. That's huge. You get the protein you need to maintain muscle and strength without the heavy digestive load of a big steak or a greasy burger. You don't feel sluggish after eating tofu. You don't get that heavy, sleepy feeling, for women especially. And I want all my female patients to pay attention here. Tofu contains soy isoflavones. These are natural plant compounds that gently mimic estrogen in the body. They're not as strong as your body's own estrogen, but they can help. After menopause, when natural estrogen drops, many women experience hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, vaginal dryness, and accelerated bone loss. Regular, moderate tofu intake, one serving a day, 3 to 5 times a week, has been shown in multiple studies to help with these symptoms, not cure them completely, but help. Many of my female patients tell me it helps them feel more balanced, less irritable, less like their body is betraying them. Now, I know what some of you are thinking because this comes up in my clinic all the time, doc. I have gout. My doctor told me to avoid soy. Isn't tofu high in purines? Won't it trigger a flare-up? Let me clear this up. This is a very common misunderstanding, and it has caused a lot of people to avoid a perfectly good, affordable, healthy food for no good reason. Dried soybeans are high in purines, that's true, but during the process of making tofu, soaking the beans overnight, grinding them, sheeting them, straining out the solids, pressing out the water, most of those purines are removed. Tofu is actually considered a low to medium purine food, unless you're in an active, painful gout flare-up where your big toe or your ankle or your knee is red, swollen, hot, and you can barely put on a sock or walk to the bathroom. A reasonable amount of tofu is perfectly fine. In fact, it's much safer than rich meat broths, organ meats like liver or kidneys, or shellfish like shrimp and scallops, which are very high in purines. So don't be afraid of tofu. Try this on a cold evening, especially in the fall or winter. Take half a block of firm tofu, cut it into cubes, add a handful of napa cabbage, chopped, add some noodles, rice noodles, ramen noodles, whatever you have. Simmer everything in a warm broth, vegetable broth, chicken broth, even just water with a little soy sauce and ginger, top with a sprinkle of green onions. That's comfort food that actually heals. Your stomach will thank you, your joints will thank you, your wallet will thank you. Number 8, Napa cabbage. There was a famous painter, one of the greats, who lived well into his 90s. He was sharp, creative, productive, and active until the very end. He didn't slow down, he didn't lose his passion, and he once wrote that cabbage is the king of vegetables. He even said, I'm paraphrasing, 100 other vegetables can't compare to cabbage. And folk wisdom agrees. There's an old saying that goes, eat cabbage for half the year and the doctor stays bored. I love that. I wish more people followed it. So why is this cheap, humble, often overlooked vegetable so powerful? Let me explain. First, cabbage is loaded with minerals, vitamins, fiber, and crucially, water in the dry winter months when the heat is running all day and the air in your house is as dry as a desert. Cabbage helps keep you hydrated from the inside out. That's good for your skin, your digestion, your energy, your mood, everything. Dehydration is a common problem in older adults, and it can lead to confusion, falls, constipation, and even hospitalizations. Second, cabbage contains a trace mineral called molybdenum. Most people have never heard of it. It's not on any supplement bottle, but molybdenum helps your body process certain harmful compounds, including some that come from smoked or grilled foods and even some environmental pollutants. It's a tiny helper that does a big job. Third, and this is really cool, cabbage contains something called vitamin U. Yes, that's a real thing. It was discovered by scientists decades ago, not by supplement companies. Vitamin U has been studied for its ability to soothe and protect the stomach lining. It's not a vitamin in the traditional sense. It's a compound found in cabbage and other cruciferous vegetables. If you have a dull, achy stomach, not sharp pain, not an emergency, but that low-level gnawing discomfort that comes and goes, cooked cabbage can be genuinely helpful. Many of my patients have tried this and reported real relief. Here's what I tell them: take a head of Napa cabbage, or any cabbage, really. But Napa is especially tender and mild. Chop it up into bite-sized pieces. Cook it until it's very soft, almost falling apart. You can steam it, boil it, stir fry it with a little oil, or add it to soup. Eat it as a side dish or blend it into a soup with some broth, or just eat it plain with a little salt and pepper. Do this for a few weeks. Many people find that their chronic stomach discomfort gradually fades, and after a heavy, rich meal, Thanksgiving dinner comes to mind, or a big summer barbecue, or a holiday feast with all the trimmings. A simple dish of cabbage, maybe with a little vinegar or lemon juice, helps you feel lighter and cleaner. It's like a reset button for your digestion. Number 9, white radish daikon. Number 9, white radish, also called daikon. You can find it in most grocery stores now, especially ones with a good produce section or an Asian grocery store. It looks like a big white carrot. It's crunchy, juicy, and surprisingly mild. There's a famous winter saying in many traditional cultures. It goes like this: eat radish in winter, ginger in summer, and stay healthy all year. Even a famous artist from several hundred years ago, one of the 8 eccentrics of Yangzhou, wrote radish into his personal health motto. His daily meal was simple: radish, greens, brown rice, and plain tea. That was his longevity secret. No supplements, no superfood powders. Just real simple food. So why is radish so special? Radish is often called little ginseng, not because it's rare or expensive, but because it does something really important. It helps move stuck energy, especially in your digestive system. Let me explain what I mean. As we age, digestion naturally slows down. The muscles in your stomach and intestines don't contract as strongly. Food sits in your stomach longer. You feel full longer, sometimes uncomfortably full. You might feel bloated, gassy, heavy, even a little nauseated. This is very common after a heavy winter meal. Think pot roast, mashed potatoes with gravy, dense bread, stews, casseroles. That's when radish shines. Raw radish is cooling. If you have a sore, hot throat, like from a winter cold or from breathing dry indoor air, or if you have thick, yellow, sticky mucus from a sinus infection or bronchitis, try eating a few thin slices of raw daikon, just like you would eat a carrot stick. It's crisp, refreshing, and slightly peppery, or juice it with a little honey. About 2 tablespoons of radish juice mixed with 1 teaspoon of honey. Many of my patients tell me it's surprisingly soothing for a scratchy throat. Cooked radish is warming. If you have what we call a cold, weak stomach, you feel chilly inside. Your digestion feels sluggish, you get loose stools, you feel like food just sits there. Then simmer radish in a soup or stew, pair it with lamb, beef, or pork. The radish helps cut the grease, aids digestion. clears excess mucus, and does all of this without drying out your body. A warm bowl of radish and pork rib soup on a cold winter night. That's not just delicious, that's actual medicine in a bowl. And you can make it for pennies compared to any over the counter remedy or prescription. Try it this week. Let me know in the comments if you notice a difference. And finally, number 10, carrots. Carrots are famous for one thing above all, beta carotene. Your body converts beta carotene into vitamin A, and vitamin A is essential for seeing well in dim light. That's why night vision gets worse if you're deficient. Have you noticed it's harder to drive after sunset? Street signs seem fuzzy, oncoming headlights feel blinding, keeping your eyes moist and comfortable. Dry eyes are miserable. They itch, they burn, they water, they feel gritty. Protecting against age-related vision decline, including the early stages of macular degeneration, which is a leading cause of blindness, maintaining healthy skin and a healthy immune system. If you've noticed it's harder to drive at night, or if your eyes feel dry and tired after watching television or scrolling on your phone, or if you seem to catch every cold that goes around, you might be low on vitamin A. But here's what most people don't know. Carrots also support your heart and your memory. Studies suggest that the nutrients in carrots, not just beta carotene, but also falcarinol and other compounds, help with blood vessel health. They keep your arteries flexible, and they may even help with cognitive function as you age. There's ongoing research into carrots and dementia prevention. Now, I cannot stress this enough. This is where almost everyone gets it wrong. Beta carotene is fat soluble. That means it only dissolves in fat, not in water. If you eat raw carrot sticks, crunchy, convenient, healthy sounding, or if you boil carrots in plain water and then throw away the water, your body cannot absorb most of the beta carotene. It goes in your mouth, travels through your stomach and intestines, and then right out the other end, mostly untouched, mostly useless. I see people do this all the time. They snack on raw carrots every single day, thinking they're doing something great for their eyes and their skin, and they wonder why they don't see any difference. They wonder why their night vision is still poor. They wonder why their skin is still dry. But if you slice or shred carrots and stir fry them in a little oil, olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, even butter, or even better, stew them with meat, then the beta carotene breaks free from the carrot's tough cell walls, dissolves into the fat, and your small intestine can absorb it beautifully. Here's the data, because I'm a doctor and I love data. Stir frying sliced carrots in oil preserves about 80% of the beta carotene for absorption. That means 4/5 of the good stuff actually gets into your bloodstream. Stewing them with meat like beef stew, lamb stew, chicken stew preserves over 95%. That means almost all of it. That's a huge difference. That's the difference between eating carrots for fun and eating carrots for health. So please stop gnawing on raw carrots and wondering why you don't feel a difference. Saute them, roast them with olive oil at 400 degrees, throw them into your next pot roast or soup, add them to a stir fry with a little bit of pork or chicken. That's how you get the real benefit. That's how you honor the food and your body at the same time. Let's bring this home. All right, my friends, let's take a deep breath and look back at our list: oatmeal, millet, corn, milk, eggs, sweet potatoes, tofu, Napa cabbage, white radish, carrots. Do you see the pattern? None of these are fancy. None of them are expensive. None require a trip to a specialty health store or a credit card with a high limit. You can find every single one of these at your local Walmart, your neighborhood Kroger, your corner supermarket, your farmer's market, your local Asian grocery store, often for just a couple of dollars, sometimes less than $1 per S. Irving. Oatmeal is pennies. Cabbage is often under $1 a head. Carrots are usually less than $1 a pound. These are the humble, everyday foods that have supported generations of healthy, long-lived people. Not through rare superfoods flown in from the other side of the world. Not through magical pills that promise everything and deliver nothing. Not through expensive supplements that give you expensive urine. Through consistency, through putting a little bit of goodness on your plate, day after day, meal after meal, year after year. Real wellness isn't about a weekend juice cleanse. It isn't about a 30-day challenge that you quit on day 12. It isn't about buying the thing that was just advertised on social media by an influencer who has no medical training. Real wellness is waking up tomorrow morning and deciding that your breakfast oatmeal is going to be real oats. Not sugary cereal. It's choosing a boiled egg over a drive-through breakfast sandwich. It's adding a side of stir-fried carrots to your dinner tonight. It's drinking that corn water instead of pouring it down the drain. It's trying a warm bowl of millet porridge before bed instead of reaching for a sleeping pill. Small choices repeated often, that's the secret. That's always been the secret. That's the secret that pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know because healthy people don't buy their products. If this video helped you even in just one small way, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone you love, your mom, your dad, your grandparent, your neighbor, your coworker who's always worried about their health, your friend who spends too much money on supplements, and drop a comment. I genuinely want to know which of these 10 foods are you going to try this week, or which one are you already eating, and how has it helped you? Have you noticed a difference in your energy, your digestion, your sleep, your mood? I read the comments. I learned from you as much as you learned from me. One last thing, and this is very important. This video is for educational purposes only. Always consult your own doctor before making changes to your diet or health routine. What works for one person may not work for another. I do not know your personal medical history, your medications, your allergies, or your specific health conditions. If you are dealing with any health concerns, chest pain, shortness of breath, unexplained weight loss, severe abdominal pain, blood in your stool or urine, sudden vision changes, weakness on one side of your body, or anything else that worries you, please schedule a visit with your primary care doctor. I am here to help you understand the science. I am not here to replace professional medical advice that is personalized to you. I am so glad you spent this time with me today. I hope you eat well, sleep well, and live well for a very, very long time. Take care of yourself and the people you love. I'll see you in the next video.